Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your boy Antonio coming to you with another video. This is news that I found out about a little bit after the whole Seunghan protesting and hate train stuff that the quote-unquote fans were doing. This is some good news, and I thought it would only be appropriate if I also talked about the good news, not just the doom and gloom about Seunghan and his departure. So I'm going to talk about the good news. And some might not think this is good news. Some people might think that this is pointless, but I don't think so, because it shows that there is another branch of the fandom called BRIIZE, and I mean the actual real BRIIZE, that are willing to go out in front of SM, you know, being off in a distance, but still going towards the building of SM, protest and show their disdain and their disgust and their disapproval of what SM has done by catering to people who call themselves fans, but they're really not fans. And so I want to highlight this positive piece of this news, and this will probably be the last time I talk about the Seunghan thing until maybe more news comes out of him possibly returning. I don't know if that's really a thing that would happen, because SM's never done that before, but I think maybe if enough people come out and share and show their disapproval and show how many fans are actually interested in OT7 coming back as just like 7, you know, the number that they started off with at the beginning, I think that would send a nice, clear message to SM, and maybe it would show them possibly turning over a new leaf, just at least for this moment, because as much as I talk about SM being a trash company, I don't delight in calling SM a trash company, if you know what I mean. I would prefer them to be a company of integrity, but they've clearly shown that they lack integrity. In fact, they've shown it for years. It's not just this one instance. I do apologize for my voice. Whilst I did recover from the cold, the cough and my throat being all weird and jacked up is still there, so I do apologize for that. I just wanted you guys to know, in case you hear my voice act a little weird, it's the aftermath of the cold I had last week. So basically all I wanted to do was say that whilst I normally don't go out of my way to be like, yay, you know, when it comes to protests and stuff, this is a protest I actually would get behind. I'm glad that they did this, because too often, you don't see the other side giving the same level of time and energy as the loud, unhinged K-pop fans. They always show their side strongly. But in this instance, which is really, really nice to see, we have positive, bright, intelligent K-pop fans, specifically RIIZE fans, coming to support Seunghan. That is a beautiful thing. And we need to see more of this, because too often we don't get this. Online, we don't get it. It's always the loud, obnoxious so-called fans that drag everybody down. Trainee A Leo, like I talked about him before many times, was done wrong by toxic, unhinged fans who called him a misogynist and said that his lyrics were misogynist when they weren't paying attention to what he was talking about in all 3 songs that he was showcasing on the rap battle, to the point where they were in a comment section underneath a YouTube video where the YouTuber had basically cut up this video trying to show this one little part, this one little clip, to paint him as a bad guy, quote unquote. The hypocrisy of the criticism that was thrown his way, as well as the blatant hate comments that he got, resulted in him not being able to deal with the pressure of all of the things that were happening around him, as well as being a trainee. He got a taste of what fans would act like if he became an idol, which is, we want total perfection. And he was like, I don't think I can do this. And he couldn't take it, so he left Trainee A and HYBE altogether. And then eventually all of Trainee A had disbanded before they could even debut. So it ruined all of their chances and hopes and dreams of ever becoming a group. Just that one thing. He didn't even do anything wrong. He just rapped, and people didn't understand the lyrics, so they blamed him for the whole situation. Woojin was done the same way. I think Woojin's was a little worse because he was in Stray Kids and he left, and people were trying to make assumptions about what was going on. Wonho from Monster X was also done this way. Not exactly the same way as Leo and Woojin, but he was still done wrong. Okay, he was still done wrong. Like I said, TOP from Big Bang was also done wrong. I mean, terribly wrong. And that's why TOP was like so done with the industry, so done with everything. Like I said in the previous video, the double standard of morality and perfection that these fans want from their idols is absolutely unachievable. It is absolutely unachievable to the point where they can't achieve it themselves, but they want the idols to do it. And when they don't, they get on a moral high horse and beat down the idol because they're in the spotlight. And it's very easy to do that when you're hiding behind a screen, right? It's very easy to beat up on someone who's very famous, has every eye watching him from all directions, all points of life, everyone. But, you know, you're hiding behind a screen and they think they can get away with it because they do, which is not a good thing. I honestly believe these people should be prosecuted. I think they should all be tried in court because this whole cyberbullying thing has cost too many lives for doing like the simplest things. Again, I'll repeat what I said on the last video. All of these people that may have smoked something or drink a lot or whatever the case may be, it is not okay to be hateful and disgusting and seek to take their livelihood away when you've got people that have allegedly and literally committed heinous crimes. Yeah, I just think the pendulum of morality is very fickle when it comes to these fans, but at least we're seeing positive K-pop fans coming to support in droves RIIZE and Seunghan. And I don't care what anybody says about the OT6 and all that. RIIZE is 7. Again, I don't think he intentionally wanted to leave the group. I think he was either coerced in some way. Someone brought up a good point, and I actually brought this up myself, I think, in a video, but it was nice to see the comment. There was a commenter on the last video who said something to the effect of, why didn't they cover and do a PR move for Seunghan like they did for Anton and Sohee and Eunseok? They could have done it for him too, and they didn't. Y'all remember Sohee was being accused of being in the closet, which is very damaging considering the K-pop industry does not like gay guys or girls being in their company. They shamed Sohee, but these are the same people that say that they are okay with gay people. So there's hypocrisy there. These are the same people that would say, hey, you know, we need to be more open to LGBTQ, but you would dare shame Sohee because a picture surfaced of him kissing his friend on the cheek, which is not a big deal in Korea. Guys kiss each other on the cheek. They hold hands. Sometimes they have their hand on their friend's thigh or whatever. That's normal behavior. That's normal skinship behavior that friends have, whether, you know, guy, girl, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's Korea. That's how they do. So that fellow Koreans were trying to paint this picture that Sohee is gay because he kissed his friend on the cheek was very evil considering the industry that Sohee is in. And even if he were gay, all that would do was show that the Korean netizens don't practice what they preach. They talk about being accepting and tolerant, but then when they see a picture surface, all of a sudden he's gay, and then they shame him for it because they know what it'll do to him. They did to Anton as well, when Anton was shown with a girl and they assumed it was his girlfriend and it wasn't, and people were just being stupid about the whole situation. The pictures did not hint to anything except maybe friendship, but people were jumping to conclusions and creating narratives around the pictures that weren't really there. Anton, Eunseok, and Sohee were done so dirty by quote-unquote BRIIZE fans, by stuff being taken out of context. And the same thing could be said for Seunghan as well. Only difference is that you can't really take the pictures out of context. He was with someone who's alleged to be his girlfriend, and he was seen smoking, but that's still not something that should be seen as a big deal in K-pop. That's the only thing that makes it similar, is that they're making a big deal about it when there are regular people that smoke and drink and have girlfriends and boyfriends. It's still regular stuff. And mind you, these pictures were taken pre-debut. That's something else to take into account. He wasn't even in RIIZE yet, and they're holding these actions against him. to say basically that you don't deserve to be in the group because of your past quote unquote mistakes and failings, when this is just regular stuff that normal people do all the time. Regardless if you're an idol, you should be allowed to do this stuff. But this is hypocrisy at its best with K-pop fans. So I thought it was very evil that they did that to him. So it's the same situation. This is something that people who are that age do all of the time, who are not in the industry, and they made a big deal about that. So it very much bothered me to see them conducting a PR move in the form of a live stream for Eunseok, Anton, and Sohee, but they didn't do it for Seunghan, and that was the hypocrisy on SM's side. It's still not enough to kick this guy out, and I say kick out strategically, because like I said, I don't believe the man wanted to leave. RIIZE didn't want him to leave. They were very happy. There was a TikTok I saw of Anton putting up his fingers saying like 7, and it was very, very cute, and I thought it was very nice that he was openly showing support for the OT7. So the OT6 fans who want what they want and got what they got, because SM are cowards and punks like that. And I have no problem saying that, because they have no problem showing it, apparently. They got what they wanted, but it's not what the members wanted. And so they basically crapped all over what their members wanted. They crapped all over it. They just destroyed it. They spat on it. You basically spat in the face of your group by doing this. But the positive thing is we have people protesting against SM, protesting against what the OT6 quote unquote fandom wanted. And now we have a positive, peaceful protest going on. And this is a beautiful thing to see. So I'm for it. I still don't stream their music. I'm not doing anything for RIIZE personally until SM sees that you need to stop catering to these people, right? They need to learn to stop catering to these people. And I'm sure they probably did this because maybe possibly the majority of the K-pop fandom did not want Seunghan back. And so SM didn't really care about the international fans so much as they did the Korean fans. So they catered to the Korean fandom. However, you can clearly see there are Korean fans that came out in droves to show their disapproval. I even heard that there was a foreigner, and I don't know how true this is, but I heard allegedly there was a foreigner who was cutting the signs off of the funeral wreaths that said OT6 and get rid of Seunghan or something like that. She was fussing at the toxic, unhinged Korean fans out there who were promoting this hate train crap, basically calling them out. And this is a foreign fan that did this.
Your opinion is not harmful right now? I think I am. These are harmful words, aren't they? They're harming people. Are they not? So what do you think? What do you think the impact of your word is? Like if you
Kudos to her, because it seems like foreign fans have a little more common sense than Korean fans, and that's a picture perfect example right there of the unhingedness of Korean fans and the consistent sanity that is shown by foreign fans. Now, there was also a Korean female fan who was also seen cutting the signs off of the funeral wreaths. So there is some sanity in South Korean fandom. Obviously, I'm not going to paint them all as crazy, unhinged people, but some of them, or you could say a large sum of them are. But kudos to this Korean fan for doing that. Not to mention there was also Korean fans who put sticky notes with kind words and encouragement to Seunghan on walls that had like Seunghan's face on it. So that's also something to note as well, that Koreans did that for him, to encourage him. It shows that there is some level of sanity in South Korea with the fandoms, and it shows that not every fan is toxic and unhinged. So I appreciate seeing stuff like this, seeing a Korean and a foreign fan coming together and doing something like this. That's beautiful. So SM, I don't know what y'all are doing up there in y'all's high kingdom up yonder, but you need to take note. I've heard that there's not only a boycott, but I think there was a petition or something that I heard about requesting for Seunghan to come back. Petitions don't normally do anything in K-pop companies. I think there was a petition for Monsta X's Wonho to return to the group. He kept his job as an idol, but he was a solo artist. He wasn't reunited with the group at all. So nothing came of him coming back to Monsta X. That was the sad part. But I will say that I'm very appreciative of the fans for stepping up and taking matters into their own hands in a positive way, in a beautiful, strong, united front that shows the K-pop industry that, hey, we don't approve of what has happened. We don't approve of SM's actions and their lack of urgency in keeping the OT7 like they were supposed to, and catering to the wishes and whims of the toxic netizens who call themselves fans but are really just wolves in sheep's clothing. I appreciate them for standing against these people. Good job. Seriously, good job. Keep it up. The disrespect that they showed towards like funeral wreaths and what they represent in South Korea was very disgusting. And culturally, because a lot of Koreans like to use Korean culture against Westerners that don't agree with them, but culturally, funeral wreaths are respected items, respected accoutrements, if you will. When it comes to the loss of a loved one, it is shown as respect. It is given in funerals as a sign of respect. And you spat on it, disrespected it, put hateful words on the funeral wreaths, and danced in front of them. So yes, I do think these people should be tried. I do think I don't care. They should be tried. Yes, I do. They should be tried, because there needs to be consequences and repercussions for doing things like this. I mean, if they're a kid and they don't know any better and they're just following the crowd of older people, I guess that's one thing, because they don't understand. Like, their comprehension level is just, because they're just following the leader. They're not thinking about it. But the people that consciously made the decisions to do all of these things, to get protest permits just so that they could put the funeral wreaths out there and be hateful in a big way, those people should be tried. You're old enough to get a protest permit, you should be old enough to be tried for cyberbullying and hate speech and attempted murder and all that other stuff for what you, because it is like, oh, it's only attempted murder if the idol attempts to take their life due to the comp. Yes, but attempting to take your life, that's a risk you don't want to take. You don't want to take that risk. That's why it shouldn't be, oh, it's only attempted murder if the idol does da-da-da-da-da. Because what if they actually succeed in the attempt? Oh, well, we just lost, this person and it's a tragic loss. No, prosecute these people. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but my point was basically made. I'm grateful to the fans for doing this. I hope that they continue and keep it up. Everybody under the sound of my voice, I normally don't say stuff like this, but I would say that if you disagree with what the toxic fans have done, protest. Join these Korean fans, these real Korean fans of RIIZE, and protest. Because not every Korean fan is toxic. Let me be clear on that. I wasn't clear last video. Let me be clear. It goes without saying, honestly, but just to be clear for those who are like, well, you're generalizing. No. Not every Korean fan is toxic, and I didn't need this example to prove that. I already know that not every Korean fan of RIIZE or any fandom is toxic. So don't get me wrong. This protest is a beautiful protest because it's calling out the evil of a company who doesn't give two craps about RIIZE's happiness, Seunghan's happiness, the success of the group. They think the success is only in money because that's all companies care about. But the success is not just in money. It's in popularity. It's in maintaining the members, the happiness, the legitimate happiness of the members. I would prefer my members not to fake their smiles because they know that the toxic fans have done this. And so to see toxic fans in a concert cheering on the OT6 and feeling like you gotta laugh to keep from crying because deep down inside you want to punch somebody in the face, a toxic fan. I'm not condoning violence, but I'm just saying we humans, so we feel like that sometimes. I'm just keeping it real. But yeah, it's hard. And so out of respect for RIIZE, what they wanted, what Seunghan wanted, what the fans want, the real fans, protest with these fans who are making a positive impact. Protest with them. Don't stream their music. Like I said, I don't normally advocate for this, but don't stream their music because this is sending a clear message, and it's not RIIZE's fault. I'm not trying to do this to penalize RIIZE. I'm not trying to say all this, for the sake of making RIIZE's lives miserable. Their life is already miserable because they kicked Seunghan out, okay? They were so freaking happy he was coming back, and they showed their happiness on full display, only to have their hopes dashed to pieces by these toxic, unhinged people. So yeah, for their sake, I wouldn't stream their music. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but For their sake, I would not stream their music. I would not do anything like that. Don't show any kind of support for SM and their promotion of RIIZE, because this is ultimately SM's doing. So hit them where it hurts so that they can see the error of their ways and so that they won't do this again, okay? Because they always do this. Put somebody on hiatus and try to bring them back and then basically trick everyone, because I feel like it was a trick. It was like an episode of Punked. We all got punked. I was so elated when I heard on my live stream that Seunghan was coming back. So elated, only to 2 days after find out he's not coming back. So yeah, I was upset. But yes, everybody do what you can to show your support for OT7, because that is what we need to do as a fandom. Don't stream their music, don't do anything like that. Just keep everything, of course, respectful, right? Be respectful, but show this company we ain't doing this no more. Like, we're not about this life. And I think that that would be a very powerful statement that we could all send to them together. So I'm gonna stop the video right here because I have a lot to edit. I have more to talk about on different subjects as well, so stay tuned. This will be probably the last video you see about the Seunghan situation, unless something else comes up, like, I don't know, him possibly being brought back. Again, I don't really know if this protest and if the boycotts and everything is going to do anything, but I will say this: if you hit a company in revenue and their revenue plummets and all this stuff and their stocks plummet because of the protests and everything, it does send a good message to them, because that's all they care about. So you got to hit them. Don't hit them in their emotions. They don't have any. A company is a robot, so don't hit them in their emotions. They have none. Hit them in their money, their wallet. Hit them where it hurts, and then they will see, okay? That's what I would suggest. So thank you guys for listening. Like I said, I don't know if anything's gonna come out of it. Is Seunghan gonna be brought back if they're hit hard enough? I don't know, but I would hope for that, and I'm sure a lot of you would hope for that. So I'm gonna get off of here. I have a lot to edit. I will see you in the next video. Until next time, I think I'll probably make a video about Ensign's Eddie again, because there is something that we need to talk about with that. And I will start my vocal analysis series back up, or continue it rather, with a BTS member. Yes, I'm not gonna say who it is until I let you guys know. So yep, I'm gonna get off of here. I love you guys. I will see you in the next video. Until next time, peace. Bye. So y'all remember when I was talking earlier in the video about the real BRIIZE fans leaving positive notes and messages to Seunghan on the walls that had his face on it and stuff? Why am I seeing this? This is what they decided to do with those sticky notes. Look at this. I'm sure this comes as no surprise to y'all, but I just thought I'd point this out. Wow, look at this. The difference between fake BRIIZE fans and real BRIIZE fans. This is the difference right here, just so y'all know. Anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to show. The real BRIIZE fandom is better than this, is my point. So let's show up and show out. All right?